Welcome to Pure Light Ministries. Today we're talking about the days of the week, the names and meanings. Did you know that all the days of the week are named after pagan gods? Stay tuned to find out more.
What does the Word of God say about the days of the week? In all of the 66 books of the Bible, the current English names of the week are not present. They never once show up. What is written instead? The numbers of the days, such as the second day, the fifth day, and so on. Some newer translations have compromised and corrupted the text by replacing the numbered days with the names. Exodus 23:13. Be careful to do everything I have said to you. Do not invoke the names of other gods. Do not let them be heard on your lips. The only day of the week that does have a name association is the seventh day, referred to as the Sabbath, which means rest or cease. First day of the week, day of the sun, sun's day. The English word Sunday originated from the Latin word dies solis, the name of a pagan Roman holy day, which stems from the worship of the Roman god Sol Invictus, the unconquered sun. Sun worship can be traced all the way back to Nimrod in Babylon. The sun's day was instituted as a day of rest for the Roman Empire by Constantine the Great in the 4th century. According to the Encyclopedia Britannica 1910 edition, it says, "There is no evidence that in the earliest years of Christianity there was any formal observance of Sunday as a day of rest or any general cessation of work, but it seems to have from the first been set apart for worship. Thus, according to Acts chapter 20 verse 7, the disciples in Troas met weekly on the first day of the week for exhortation and the breaking of bread."
The second day, day of the moon, moon's day. In the Greek culture, the moon was the goddess Selene and later Artemis. In Roman culture, Luna or Diana was goddess of the moon. Acts chapter 19, verses 23 through 35 says, "About that time there arose a great disturbance about the way. A silversmith named Demetrius, who made silver shrines of Artemis, Diana, brought in a lot of business for the craftsmen there, saying that gods made with hands are not gods. And there is danger not only that this trade of ours may come into disrepute, but also that the temple of the great goddess Artemis, Diana, may be counted as nothing, and that she may even be deposed from her magnificence, she whom all Asia and the world worship." When they heard this, they were enraged and were crying out, "Great is Artemis, Diana of the Ephesians."
The spirit and archetype of Artemis is still alive in our culture today and can be seen in these types of media. Notice the similarities in the two pictures. From the Webster's Collegiate Dictionary, 1937, it describes Artemis as a goddess, most typically the virgin huntress, goddess of wild nature, who is associated with the moon and her twin brother Apollo with the sun. The Romans identified her as Diana. The third day, named for the Norse god of war, Tyr, the son of Odin or Woden. In Roman culture, this Tyr, the god of war, was worshipped as the god of Mars. The English weekday name Tuesday means Tuesday, referring to the Old English extension of the god of war, Tyr. Joshua 23:7. "So you are not to associate with these nations remaining among you. Do not call on the names of their gods or swear by them, and you must not serve them or bow down to them." The spirit and archetype of Tyr is still alive in our culture today and can be seen in these types of media.
The fourth day, Woden's Day, the chief god in Norse mythology, also referred to as Odin. In Roman culture, he is the god Mercury. From the book Ancient Paganism, The Sorcery of the Fallen Angels by Ken Johnson, it says, Odin. The most ancient legends describe Odin as a sorcerer who lost one eye while performing a ritual. He became able to see through the eyes of his raven spirit guides. Later, Odin was worshipped as the supreme god. It should have been obvious if he was a sorcerer and had to do a ritual to obtain this power that he must not ever have been the original creator god. In Norse mythology, gods like Odin and the nature spirits, called elves, were worshipped. The gods were no doubt engrafted ancestor worship. Norse mythology divided the universe into 9 worlds. From Webster's Collegiate Dictionary in 1937, it describes Woden as Wednesday is named for him. The spirit and archetype of Odin/Woden is still alive in our culture today and can be seen in these types of media. From the Encyclopedia Britannica, the 1910 edition, it says, it is clear, however, that the god was credited with special skill in magic, both in England and Germany. While the story of the Langobardic migration represents him as the dispenser of victory. From Woden, also most of the Anglo-Saxon royal families traced their descent. By the Romans, he was identified at an early date with Mercurius, whence our name, Wednesday, Woden's Day.
The fifth day, Thor's Day. Thor, from Norse mythology. He is the god of thunder, eldest son of Odin, and ruler of the gods and Jord, the earth goddess. Defined in the Webster's College Dictionary 1937, Thor's Day, for Thor, was named after the god of thunder, the fifth day of the week. It also goes on to say, the god of thunder, as conceived in his character of god of strength, as a helper in war, as a defender, and in his person, as a red-haired and red-bearded youth, armed with a magic hammer that always returns to him after being cast. The spirit and archetype of Thor is still alive in our culture today and can be seen in these types of media. The sixth day, Frigg's Day. Frigg, or Frigga, from Norse mythology, is the goddess of the sky and wife of Odin. Defined in the Webster's College Dictionary 1937, Friday says, Frigg, name of a goddess, the sixth day of the week. The Encyclopedia Britannica 1910 edition goes on to say, Frigg, the wife of the god Odin or Woden in northern mythology. She was known also to the Teutonic peoples, both on the continent and in England, where her name still survives in Friday. The seventh day, Saturn's Day, named for the Roman god Saturn. Saturn is the Roman god of agriculture. The associated Greek god Cronus was the youngest of the Titans, the son of Sky Uranus and Earth Gaia, and the father of Zeus Jupiter. This Saturn god had a worship festival dedicated to him called Saturnalia. This great festival Saturnalia was celebrated in the later half of December. Each man would offer a pig, and during the festival, schools were closed. Most all classes of the peoples exchanged gifts. Some say the gifts that were given were dolls that represented human sacrifices that were once offered to Saturn. Saturday, being the seventh day of the week, does hold a special spot for the children of the Most High God. The Hebrew word Shabbat first means to rest, to keep a day of rest. The primary idea appears to be that of to sit down or to be still. Going on in the root of the word means to cease, to desist, to leave off. The emphasis in this word is to cease to be or to have an end. Exodus chapter 20, 8 through 11. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labor, and do all your work. But the seventh day is a Sabbath to the Lord your God. On it you shall not do any work, you or your son or your daughter, your male servant or your female servant, or your livestock, or the sojourner who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested on the seventh day. Therefore the Lord blessed the seventh day and made it holy. Exodus 31:16. Therefore the children of Israel shall keep the Sabbath, to observe the Sabbath throughout their generations as a perpetual covenant.
Thank you for listening to today's topic, Days of the Week, Names and Meanings by Pure Light Ministries. Please like and subscribe and share with others. May God bless you.